it gets up to speed quick.
But don't feel like it when you're on.
Get off of her.
You gonna want this? Well, let me film it so when you die, we're gonna sit something down the channel.
You don't have to wear your helmet in Mexico.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This could be Jeff's last ride. He worked this thing. Well, put her in reverse. You don't punch it from the beginning or it'll start beeping. Kind of ease into it. He don't listen. He punched it right from the get-go. Then started beeping, shut him down.
Let him pee me, please.
You hit it. The acceleration is crazy.
You hit it too hard, too fast.
First time I did. Second time I did. It's pretty impressive. It didn't have a big turning radius.
No, I know.
I thought I noticed that last night, but I didn't want to complain until I turned around again.
Well, the only reason I'm not complaining is because the
power steering.
Power steering's nice.
But
so
if we didn't have power steering, that would be my complaint.
It would be miserable, yes. What did you hit?
Like 45.
I mean, just from there to there, though. I mean, that's not.
The Grizzly.
I remember the Grizzly, but I remember having to run it.
We used to go way back down there to the house. We used to go way back down there to the house, and we get to about 50, baby, if we run out the end of the straightaway.
I know. But
like, once it gets there, it flattens out.
Quick.
But it gets there so quick.
Yeah, it's weird.
Especially if you can gun it out of the hole wide open.
Yeah,
that's where it's impressive. It gets to speed quick.
That's what I'm curious of. What it's going to feel like once the break-in's over.
Which is forever.
Yeah, 20 hours is, it's not a long time, but it is when we ride 2 hour chunks.
I my hour meter today, just so I'm curious how long I've rode since being here at 7 o'clock.
Probably 3, maybe?
Maybe. It was like 0.6 earlier.
Oh my God.
So.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Just look at her. Look at how pretty she is. The old lava orange. She's so sexy. No, but seriously, we're gonna take her for a little spin and we're gonna talk about her a little bit. Let's see how many hours we got now. Where do we check that at? I don't know if you can see that. 6.7 hours. Now this thing is regulated where you can only give it half throttle without it beeping at you until you get 20 hours. So Jeff's been riding this thing every spare second he's had over the past month trying to get 20 hours on it because we ain't had a chance to really go ride. And well, you see we've not made it that far, but it's getting closer. So let's take it for a spin. I love the digital dash. Not that that's something new. Pretty much everything on the market now is pretty much a digital dash. The four-wheel drive setup, I like the way they've got the buttons. You've got two-wheel drive, flip it once for 4 high. You flip it again, and you got this orange button, which is a locker for the front. Put that back in two-wheel drive. Over here, you've got your headlights. You got a low and high, off. I don't know if you can see it. This button right here is a override rev for in reverse in case you get stuck. Also has a horn, because you never know when you need to blow the horn. Tell someone to get out your way. Get the out of my way. And then you've got your typical, I'm gonna say Polaris-ish type shifter. It's got reverse, neutral, high, low. Let's put her in reverse and let's go. Got extremely a lot of torque out of the hole, and we've not even really been able to give it a whole lot because you can't open it wide open until 20 hours. It'll start beeping at you and tell you to stop it. But I've drove a lot of four-wheelers, a lot of side-by-sides, and torque-wise, this has probably got as much torque as pretty much anything I've drove. It doesn't have the top-end speed. It gets to speed pretty quick, but about 45 to 50, it gets there pretty fast, and then it starts, you gotta have a long stretch after that if you're gonna do much with it. We had to hook it to, I don't know, I'll have to ask Jeff what it is, like a 1992 3500 Chevrolet diesel. It was broke down, it won't run, it was in the way, and I hooked this up to it and drug it out of the way, and it pulled it with no problem at all. Now I'm not gonna lie and say that I wasn't a little bit hesitant to purchase this. Obviously CFMoto's been out a few years, but they don't have the time that Polaris, Can-Am, Honda, they don't have that kind of time on the market. So, and even when I was doing my research, there's still, even though they've been out 10 years, there's still not a ton of stuff out on them. So longevity, I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, so far I've had one little issue with it. I had a power steering issue that I had to take it back. We got a separate video on that y'all can check out. It was a simple fix. It's just a matter of knowing where to go to fix it. If y'all want to check that video out, we'll put a link up at the top of this video. But anyways, other than that, I've had no issues. Had it long enough really to have any other issues. But so far, I'm pretty happy with it. I love the size of it. It's been a few years since I've been in the four-wheeler world. I kind of took a break and went to side-by-sides. So I don't know what else is on the market size-wise. I know that when I got out of four-wheelers, they just weren't, even the biggest thing on the market wasn't really big enough to have two people comfortably. I know that the last time I rode a four-wheeler, it was I want to say a Honda Foreman 420, 500, somewhere in there or something. And it had little seat, an aftermarket seat put on it. And when you had someone else who was a good sized human on the back of it, it felt like it didn't have good steering up front. It took too much weight off the front tires. I don't have that issue with this one at all. I've had myself and someone as large as myself on here with me just to see what it would do, and it was extremely impressive as far as how it pulled us both around. Can't wait till we get 20 hours on this thing. We've got some big plans for it. Got a lot of stuff we want to try out. I'm going to show y'all something we're going to do here in a minute. If I can get down here to it. So, right here is Jeff's, I don't know what year it is. I'm gonna say a 2002 maybe, Yamaha Grizzly 660. This was probably the first four-wheeler that I know of to hit the market that really started upping its game as far as four-wheel drive. the CCs they were putting out and the speed and the power you were getting out of a four-wheel drive four-wheeler. Used to, if you wanted to get real good speed, you had to go to like a sport quad. This thing, I remember, it's not as impressive now because we've been on so much other stuff, but when this first came out, our buddies had the Suzuki 450s. I can't remember what the Raptor was size-wise at the time, but this four-wheeler right here would hang with it. So we're going to do a comparison to that versus the CFMoto. Not that the CFMoto is the biggest, baddest thing out now, but that'll just kind of show you how far everything has come when we do a comparison. Because CFMoto is not the biggest, baddest thing out right now that I've got, that I own. The one that I own isn't anyways, and this thing was. So we're going to do that. That's going to be kind of fun. We're going to come up with some different stuff we want to do with that. Let's ask him real quick what year that thing is. What year's, hang on, I'll turn this off so y'all can hear better. What year is the Yamaha?
02, first year of the Grizzly.
I guessed it correctly. So yeah, it's a 2002. So we've got that coming down the pipeline. We'll be doing that soon. So look out for that.
We just got this thing back out of the shop. You've seen in our previous video, before we even got to introduce it, the power steering failed on it. I'm just trying to put a few hours on it for him to get it broke in. It's gonna have 20 hours before we can really punch it. I think I'll make it for a service too, which is kind of crazy on my thinking. You know, it's, you pay whatever for the four-wheeler, I don't even know how much it was, and you gotta go back in and pay $400 or $500 more for a service. Just seems to me like they should have done all at once, but, or included in the price, I should say. Anyway, I like this thing. It's big, it's stable. It's definitely quick, pretty quick, really quick out of the hole. My biggest complaint is going to be the way it doesn't hold back. I'm used to my Grizzly 660. When you let off the gas and it stops on any incline. This thing, just riding around a minute ago, you almost threw myself off going through just a basic ditch because I'm just not used to it not stopping or holding back. You know, just went into freewheel mode while I was just off the gas cruising. Now it's got low and it holds back great, but it's super low. So Jeremy says you can change the clutches on it. I don't know, but as an official review of a brand new rig, that's probably going to be my biggest complaint. That and my basement door's open. That's good. That and the turn radius will be my two issues I have with it. But anyway, we'll keep riding and put some hours on it. I'm anxious to get it where we can open it wide open and really try it out. So anyway, don't mind me just putting some more hours on the CFMoto for Jeremy. Now I wanted to come back on and say, after my last review, little video, I did get to ride this thing in the woods the other day a little bit, and I gotta say I'm impressed. It's just super stable. I was following Jerry on the Can-Am and watching him go through some of the kind of off-camera stuff on it, and then following him on this. I was like, oh wow, this doesn't feel bad at all. So gotta say I am impressed with the one thing I read in other reviews. The length of this thing makes it more stable, makes it get in and out of bad spots, keeps your frame in a good spot, better traction, etc., whatever. And I'll agree with that. It's definitely a lot more stable of a ride than my old Grizzly is on the trails. So overall, I'm impressed with this thing. I'll chime back in on the 20-hour review when we really get some time and really get to run it hard. But so far, I approve. All right, be sure you hit that like button. Be sure you subscribe. Y'all be pretty.